Asset Management, thank you very much. Now, are Britain's tourist attractions too expensive? Many of the companies that run them are supporting a campaign to cut the VAT charged on attractions and tourist accommodation from 20% to 5%. Nick Varney is the boss of Merlin Entertainment, the world's second biggest leisure parks operator. It runs Alton Towers, Madame Tussauds, Legoland and many other British attractions. Nick, why should tourism be a special case when it comes to VAT?
Because ultimately, tourism is an export industry with massive benefits to the economy in terms of GDP, jobs created. And every other government in Europe actually gets that and has applied a discretionary rate of VAT to accommodation and attractions, which actually, because our government is one of the very few that hasn't, puts British tourism at a relative disadvantage.
Well, the government says, you know, the VAT from tourism is an important source of revenue. It has no plans to cut it. I mean, you've been fighting this battle now for, what, 10 years? I mean, you're losing. You're never going to win this one, are you?
I think on the contrary. I mean, in the last 10 years, and particularly in the last 3, there's been a gathering of momentum. There is massive support for this campaign. The Sun newspaper has come out and is running a really big campaign at the moment, you know, really because it's ultimately about making British holidays cheaper and also making the country more attractive to foreign visitors. We have over 70 MPs, and we have the entire industry behind this campaign now, from small B&Bs and local attractions right the way up to the big companies such as ourselves.
That's not really surprising that everybody in the industry supports cutting VAT for the industry, is it? I mean, and once you started down this line, you could see for the government, you know, other sectors would start asking for exemptions, wouldn't they?
Well, they would, but I come back to the original question, which is, why is tourism unique? It's unique because it's an export industry that is being taxed with VAT when no other export industry is.
Well, OK, can you tell us about what benefits would it have?
Well, to go back to then the other question of, you know, why should we do this? In conversations with David Gauke at the Treasury and George Osborne's team, we were challenged to actually prove the benefits of this to the economy. So we put the case for a reduction in VAT down to 5% through the government's own Treasury model. Professor Blake concluded from that this was the most effective discretionary tax rate he had ever seen put through the government's own Treasury model. So here you have proof positive. It's a 120,000 job benefit to the economy, a £4 billion benefit in terms of overall GDP. And the important point to remember here is, as an industry, we are the major employer of young people. 45% of my 10,000 staff in the UK are 16 to 24. A third of the jobs created in the economy in the last 4 years that the government's very proud to boast about have been created in tourism and hospitality. So given that there's still 18% youth unemployment in this country, I'd say that this is a very strong argument. And the other point I'd make is that when government wants to do these things because the political pressure's there, they do it. Boris's cable cars have got a 5% VAT rate, and so have Danny Alexander's ski lifts.
There are exceptions. There is an alternative, of course. I mean, you could cut your prices if you're worried about the cost of tourist attractions.
I'd say that we offer excellent value for money.
You would.
People find lots of very good ways of coming to our attractions. I mean, you know, the Merlin annual pass.
No. We've got to stop there. Nick Varney, thank you very much indeed for coming in.
Thank you, Justin. The time is 25 past 6, and Sonali is at the games in Glasgow.